welcome to Super Saturday. My name is Denise McDonald, and I have the honor to introduce our next speaker. Do you ever go through life and you run into someone and you meet someone and you think, this is not a coincidence? We are meant to meet each other. And it probably has happened to everybody in this room. You may be sitting here because you ran into someone and it wasn't a coincidence. You were meant to meet that person. I got to meet my Mario, I like to call him. And we, a bunch of coaches in this room, we were at a Tony Horton event in Connecticut. And we had all worked out, there was about 600 of us there. And sure enough, I wanted to get in line and get a picture with Tony. So I'm standing in line, and there's two guys behind me, and it's a father and son duo, Mario and Mario, from Scranton, Pennsylvania. So we start talking, and I said, hey, they go, oh, we do P90X, we do P90X2, we drink Shakeology, we do recovery formula. And I was like, oh, you guys are coaches, right? And they're like, no, what is that? Everyone keeps asking us, we're coaches. I'm like, dude, you're going to be a coach by the end of the time we get to meet Tony. So, my God, no. So we just started talking. I fell in love with them, and they had a great time. And I just want to bring him up here because I'm just so happy that he's part of our team, Whoa, and he's part of our Beachbody family. And I think you're going to call him Super Mario after you hear his story. Come on, my brother.
People in there. All right. I thought I was going to be a lot more nervous than I am, but not too bad. A lot of beautiful faces looking at me, so I'm all right. Let's see. When I graduated high school, I was about where I am now, maybe a little less. It was like 180 pounds, and then I enrolled into college. And that's when the shit hit the fan. They say when you go to college, the freshman 15, right? Well, I gained 30 pounds the first semester. So I broke a record. I doubled it in half the time. I drank Yingling Lager 6-pack every single night. I ate the crappiest food you could think of, like cheese fries, cheese steaks, all that, nasty stuff. And when I was in high school, I was working out, but and then when I went to college, that's what you do. You just study and eat and skip class and eat and eat and eat. And so through college, that's all I did. I drank a lot, partying, and just ate a lot of crappy food. And my whole life, ever since I was a little kid, I always had this, thing like with mirrors. Like I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. Like I always, just like even like today, I looked at myself, and you're always like looking at your, this needs to change. My butt got big, or even as a little kid, I was like that, So through college, food became my friend. It was, I got real distant with a lot of people. I don't know why. And I was away the first semester, and I came back home, and I just kept partying and eating. And so then I joined the Carpenters Union, and I hated that. I was about 250 pounds when I joined, and I really hated it. I hated life. I was really in a dark place, and food was my friend. And let's see. Then my dad ordered this crazy 2 o'clock in the morning infomercial crazy workout program that I always saw, and he's like, oh, hey, I ordered that PX90 stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, I saw that. And so I'm like, you're really gonna do that? You're really, like, that's a scam. You just lost 120 bucks. And so he's like, why don't you do it with me? I'm like, no, I ain't doing that crap. And so I watched my dad 30 days in, he's like, look, like, I think I see an ad, 60 days in, he was looking good. Like, I'm like, man, this guy, this is ridiculous. He's 25 years old, and I mean, he's doing all this crazy stuff, and maybe this thing works, And then the 90 days in, he went, yo, look what I got. 6-pack abs, and I'm like, and still to this day, my dad's 50-some years old, 56 or something like that, and he has a 6-pack, he's ripped, and it's really ridiculous. But, so I was like, okay, this thing works, it's not a scam, it's real. I watched my dad go through the 90 days. I actually used to go up his house and watch him do the whole thing. I'm like, this is, an hour and a half of yoga and all that stuff. But then I hit around 280 pounds, and I was like, wow, I'm getting up to that 300 mark, and so I had to make a decision. I was in a dark place, lonely. You try to take a picture of me, I was going to yell at you, and I'd run, and I was the guy who didn't like mirrors, cameras, and scales. And I wore a hoodie every summer for like 5 summers. I didn't swim for 5 summers. I was so it was a dark place I was in, and I felt like I wasn't living. I felt like I was just existing, and I actually got to a point. This was the breaker for me. I actually got to the point. I never forget. It was a Sunday night. I hated Sundays because next day is Monday. That's a whole new week to start. Here I am. I do a physical job, and I'm 280 pounds. Couldn't move right, and just got picked on a lot, and so I remember actually I cried myself to sleep, and because I didn't want to get up the next day. I actually was like, wouldn't it be nice if I just kind of slept forever? I actually wanted to die. I was like, it was just that bad. I was just at that point where I'm like, why am I here? What am I doing? It's freezing cold outside, and I got to work out there, and it was just a dark time. And I was like 24 years old, it's like, so I said, okay. So actually, I think I called Beachbody, and I spent $120, and I'm like, if I do this program for 90 days, just take 90 days of my life, and just do it, and then afterwards have a party, just see what happens. Something's got to give, right? And so I mean, I think by the grace of God, I made it through that program. I made it the decision. I just like, I have to do this. It was kind of like a life or death thing, because I was going on a path to, I was already suicidal. I was just at that point where it's bad. So God's like, all right, let's go. We're doing P90X. So I mean, I really believe He helped me through that. And after 90 days, my first run, I think I lost like 50 pounds. And so then I was like, okay, I'm not going to stop now, I was like, so this worked. I think I did another 90 days, and I think I lost another 35 or something like that. And then I did a few more programs at X2, and that's when I met Denise. I was doing X2, but it was a lot of up and downs. As soon as like they say, the worst thing about success is a little bit. You have a little bit of success, and you're like back to So I was a lot of up and down for about a year and a half, and then finally I did 2 rounds of Body Beast and lost. That's what I was my after over there. So I lost a total of 120 pounds.
Wow.
So I say P90X is that crazy 2 o'clock in the morning infomercial that completely changed my life. And so that's pretty much my story, and I wanted to keep it short and sweet, and you know, if you're out there and you're struggling, you know, you're in a good place. I mean, my life is just completely transformed. I mean, here's the thing. Here's what I love about this business is, you know, I went from having no goals in my life. I had absolutely no goals for myself, for my life. And by push and play on this crazy program every single day, my life has completely changed. Like it's so drastic. It's amazing. Like when I was that guy, I never smiled. I would never come to a place like this. You know, I would always try to stay home, and now it's like I think every 6 weeks I'm going somewhere. I'm traveling here, traveling there, and you know, you meet all these people, and it's just so just by push and play, drinking a shake. I mean, it completely changed my life, and so don't ever give up on anybody, even yourself. And you know, when you're coaching, I have a lot of struggles with that, and people, you know, but just I mean, this stuff works. I mean, my life has just changed so much, and I have nothing else to say, so I'm going to get out. Can I get a quick selfie with everybody?
Oh my God. You're coming down from a roller coaster.
Okay, Nicole, who's up next?
Can you introduce Sue?
Oh,
Sue
Sue McCarran.
And Rick.
Sue McCarran is going to introduce our next speaker, Rick Cody.
How are you?